Okay, so I just stumbled upon this guide for software engineering interviews, and it dives deep into practical coding principles.
Really? That sounds super useful. Which principles stood out to you? I love it when they break down solid principles.
Exactly, they emphasize the solid principles, a set of rules that can make your code cleaner and easier to manage. Like it's all about maintainability.
Right, but what about the dry principle? Isn't it a bit tricky sometimes to balance reusability with over-abstraction?
That's a solid point. Overusing dry can lead to complex dependencies that can bite you later. That's the tension in software design.
Totally. I mean, sometimes that YAG&I principle is overlooked, but it's crucial. We shouldn't over-engineer features we might not need.
For sure, it's like anticipating future needs can be a rabbit hole. You can end up building a castle without knowing if you need one.
And while we're at it, the KISS principle is refreshing. Keep it simple, right? It helps prevent that urge to complicate things.
Exactly, but does simplicity always lead to efficiency? I feel like sometimes simple can overlook necessary complexities.
Good catch. There's often a balance to strike. We want simplicity but can't ignore the depth sometimes required for robust solutions.
Speaking of depth, have you seen how they incorporate algorithms and data structures insights in this guide? Super helpful.
Yes, understanding the complexity of algorithms is key, but navigating Big O notation can feel so daunting for newcomers.
Totally, it's a mind bender at first, but visual tools like Visualgo make it so much easier to grasp those concepts.
That's true. Visual representation is a game changer. It's like bringing a math concept to life.
Right? It helps you see, for instance, how those sorting algorithms actually perform under different scenarios.
And the practicality of data structures. They can significantly affect performance. It's not just theory.
Absolutely, but I wonder, how do we know which structure to use when? There isn't a one-size-fits-all answer.
Great question. It often depends on the specific use case and operations you need to optimize for. Understanding trade-offs is essential.
And that's where clean code and architecture principles come in handy, like separating concerns to keep our codebase manageable.
Exactly. Clean architecture is like having a solid blueprint for your app. It helps you scale without the chaos.
But we can't ignore the drawbacks of clean architecture either. It can introduce overhead that some teams might find unnecessary.
That's true. Finding that balance between structure and flexibility can be a real challenge for many devs.
Yeah, and getting into frameworks, Angular, React, Vue, each has its own best practices and quirks.
And transitioning between them can feel like learning an entirely new language. What do you think is the main takeaway for devs?
I think it's all about adaptability and finding what works best for your team and project. That's the heart of good engineering.
Agreed, and being intentional about tech choices can make all the difference. Have you come across any standout interview questions?
Oh, definitely. The system design questions are always a mind-boggling challenge, so broad yet detailed.
Right, they really test your grasp of architecture and trade-offs. It's like juggling multiple concepts at once.
But that's where real-world experience shines through. You can anticipate what's needed based on past projects.
Exactly. Real applications of theory versus textbook knowledge. Huge difference in how you approach these questions.
Looking at the big picture, it's fascinating how a systematic approach can transform both coding and interviews.
For sure. And it keeps evolving, so there's always something new to learn and adapt to in the tech landscape.
Exactly, and I think the constant learning keeps things interesting. It never gets stale.
So, what do you think the next big trend in coding interviews will be? More emphasis on AI skills.
Could be, with AI tools becoming mainstream, maybe interviewers will prioritize candidates' comfort with integrating AI into their workflow.
Wild to think about, but it makes sense. Industries need to stay relevant with tech advancements. Makes me curious how we'll adapt.
Same here, the adaptability factor is key, always pushing us to grow. I wonder how this will shape future engineers.
Wouldn't it be awesome to see what a software engineer of the future looks like? It's like we're witnessing a transformation.
Definitely, it makes me excited for what's to come. So much potential wrapped up in curiosity and technology.
Yeah, it's a thrilling time to be in tech. Can't wait to delve deeper into these topics together.